You're raising this man's children, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing X, Y, and Z, and you have to sit there and text him to get approval to get your nails done.
Hell no.
A lot of women lose themselves in the marriage.
You'll never meet your worst enemy until that day comes.
Yep.
Do something more than outside of being a mom. The one thing people don't understand, like, it's okay to not have it together.
The more gratitude you show and the more positivity you put out, the more positive you get back.
Being an NFL wife is one of the hardest things in the world.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Unfiltered Brew. I'm your host Nora, and here's my co-host
Katerina. Hi everybody.
I'm so excited today because our guest is a Cleveland businesswoman. She's an investor, she's a wife, and a mom who's building wealth and empowering others through her journey. Dajana Taylor, welcome to Unfiltered Brew.
Welcome, Diana.
Thank you, guys.
We are so
Thank
excited
you.
to have you here.
So excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
So tell us, let's start the episode by showing our viewers where you come from. Tell us about a little bit about you and your story. And
Absolutely. So, just like you, I was born and raised in Bosna, Derventa. So when the war broke out, naturally, we all moved elsewhere. My family ended up migrating from Derventa to Germany. We lived there for about 5 or 6 years. Moved here when I was 11 years old.
I was 10,
off.
yeah.
Yeah, got dropped off and literally, Eastlake, Ohio at the time, my aunt sponsored us. So we came to Eastlake and we lived out there with my aunt for the first couple years. And then we moved to Wycliffe. And in Wycliffe, there was no Croatian people, like not as many as Eastlake and Menor and Willoughby had. So I was like the outcast. Like me and my brother, we were like, okay. And like a few of Croatians, but nobody in my class at all. I had nobody that spoke my language, nothing. I had one teacher, thankfully, that was there, and she ended up teaching me everything, and I still talk to her today. Like, we're still really close. Yeah. And a really close family friend of ours. But without her, I don't know how we would have ever even,
did you come here knowing any English, or
No, zero.
were you like me?
Zero.
We had-
Zero.
yeah.
I always tell my friends I was in Longfellow, and my cousin, she was like, I didn't have anybody in my class that was like Croatian speaking or anything like us. And I went to the teacher and I was like, hi, I need to go to the closet. Well, that was the bathroom in German, and
yes,
this lady's
yes.
like,
Oh,
wait, why is this like crazy girl want to go to the closet? Like, what is wrong with her? You know what I mean? Because so she ended up calling my cousin and being like, what is wrong? And my cousin's like, just go to the bathroom, let this girl go. Like, she was like literally interrogating me. I'm pretty sure they held me back in 5th grade because of this. Like, literally, like, she's like, I don't think she's ready to move on to 6th grade. I'm like,
They did that to me too.
I'm like, you don't think? I moved here in February. I wasn't like up to speed with the, with the American ways. So they held me back
especially
1
the
year.
language barrier.
It's
so hard.
And they ended up keeping me back 1 year. Because they're like, I don't think you're ready to go on to, So then that separated me from all like my cousins, my family, everybody that I knew. So I had to and then my parents moved to Wycliffe, and then I'm like stuck trying to make it out there on my own.
Friends, yeah.
Totally. It
That's
was
hard, especially at such a young age. And I can't get, like, the language barrier to me, I grew up, like, I learned English overseas. I went to an English school, so I don't know what it's like just to show up to a city, like, at an age where you're almost a teenager, but you're not, and you're trying to shape your identity, and you don't know the language of your friends. You're going to school, the teachers are talking, and you're like, what are these people saying, right?
Oh, yeah. And and you're in your prime, right? Because, like, I have 3 kids now, and I could not imagine them being dropped off in a different country at 11.
Yeah.
I mean,
And being like, what are you going to do? I was just talking to my husband about it yesterday, and I'm like, I feel like us, people that migrate here from different countries, like, learn things so much faster, and we mature so much faster than like normal kids, because I'm like, at 13 years old, I was my mom, because she didn't speak English, so I was the one calling 59, utility companies because my mom wanted me to see which one's cheaper. Yes, they're like, I
Ay,
heard
nazovis.
they're
In
like,
Croatian,
hey,
that's like call.
absolutely. Like I heard from so and so, and they all hear everything
Yeah.
in the shapas, where they like all work. I heard from so and so that they're paying $20. Why am I paying $60? So then you have to go and call instead of your parents. And I was like buying mortgages at 14, 15 years old. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Because my parents didn't know anything. They didn't know how to set up anything.
But
We
that
did
skill
it.
set right there at such a young age is probably what shaped how you probably operate today and do work. Right?
Absolutely.
You've learned those
It's
skills at such a young
literally,
age.
it's been survival mode for us. I feel like that lifestyle we never grow out of. Since I was born, we were in survival
hustle.
mode. Yeah.
The hustle.
Yeah. We went from, being normal kids to being kids in a war and what now our whole life has blown up and then moving and moving again. And my family moved here with nothing.
Yeah.
So now where I'm at in my life, a lot of people looking outside in, they're like, "Oh, of course it's easy for her to have that. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
no, but
easy,
they don't
let me tell
understand.
you.
They don't understand the back end of it, how much you busted your ass and how much you worked and had
Absolutely.
sleepless nights, and they don't see that part.
Oh,
they
till
just
this
see,
day we do
Yeah.
it. And I don't know any entrepreneur. Nobody is comfortable ever. If you're an entrepreneur, it's like you come with that lifestyle that
You're
you're
in
never
constant hustle mode.
Yeah, it's
There's no days
24/7.
off. There's
No,
no days
There's
off.
yeah.
And
no. I remember having my son literally on my second son, or my third son C-section, and I'm closing a deal and I'm texting my husband, and he's like texting for me. I'm like, we gotta do this. I'm like, give me my phone after the C-section.
Yeah.
Literally just had a
In the
baby.
hospital,
Oh my
like,
God, I
Just had a baby, and I'm like,
That's
hold
wild.
on, let me text this real quick,
How's
and
the
then
baby?
okay,
Mom,
I got-
I'm pushing this baby out.
yeah.
I'm pushing this baby out, but give me my phone. I gotta close this deal.
No, it's never ending. It's always
So
something.
how did you get into entrepreneurship?
So
wanna hear
I
that.
went from obviously back to going through middle school, elementary school, whatever, here at high school. I always felt different. You know what I mean? I never was a 9-to-5er. I couldn't be one. My mom always had a certain outlook of what I should do, and I completely did the complete opposite of
Every
everything
parent
she
does.
thought.
Every foreign
Yes.
parent.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My dad got diagnosed with cancer when I was 17 years old. And that kind of took my life into a fast forward, because me and my mom, obviously my mom had a language barrier. So it was me and my brother who took care of him, who took him to all the doctor's appointments, did everything. And then when he passed, school was not my priority. I never went to college.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Because it just wasn't something that was in my cards. I had to take care of my dad. That was in my cards at that stage of my life. And then when he passed in 2006, it was me, my mom, my brother looking at each other like, guys, what do we do now? We just lost a whole income. You know what I mean? Who's going to help us take care of us, And then I went to work.
And how old were you at the time?
I was 18. I started working. I started trying different things. I'm like, oh, I'll be a chiropractic therapist or something, that you can make money now without having to go to school,
Get
an assistant.
Yeah.
Right. So I ended up getting involved in a little bit of that. Then I got pregnant. I ended up getting pregnant at 19 years old with
Very
my
young,
son.
wow.
Yes. Yeah, he's 17 now. He's a senior in high school.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
crazy.
He's the best. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. But ended up getting pregnant with him right at 6 months after my dad died. So to me, I was like, all right, this is a sign, I needed this, maybe, to I don't know, slow life down a little bit, maybe give us some hope
It does
of
slow
the
down
future.
life.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
And we ended up, so I ended up having my son at the age of 20, started working at a restaurant in Gates Mills called Sarah's.
I don't think I'm familiar.
It's a really
I've heard
cute
of
little
it.
restaurant.
Yeah, I've never been there, but it's
still
supposed
there.
to be really nice. It's still there, right?
The owners are wonderful. They're really good people. So I ended up started working there. And one day, just the guy approached me, and he's like, "What are you doing working here?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm just, trying to make it
And
one
who's
day
taking
by
care of
day."
the baby while you're working? Your mom?
My mom.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my mom, and then his dad. Me and him ended up not working out and splitting. And he's always been a great dad. So we always worked half-half and, helped each other out. And my mom obviously was a huge part of my son's life, or still is. And around 21, I was working at this restaurant. I got approached by a guy who, like, it just takes one person to see you. You know what I mean? Like, one person to see the potential in you.
Yeah.
And that was this guy. And he ended up giving me a job to sell steel.
Oh.
And that's how I kind of got into sales.
Okay.
So at 21, I'm selling steel.
And you're selling to manufacturers?
I'm selling to, yes, manufacturers, like Olympics. It was Olympic Steel. So we sold to Link Belt, huge construction companies and stuff like that. So I ended up selling steel there, ended up getting another job while working for, like, during that whole transition. I was traveling a lot. My son was home with my mom a lot. People don't see the sacrifices I had to make, and then during that time, my son was 4 years old. He ended up getting diagnosed with diabetes, type 1 diabetes. Nobody has that in our family. Like, we don't even have allergies.
Right.
Who has diabetes in the family? So he got diagnosed at 4. That was super, super hard on us. Doctor's appointments all the time. I couldn't travel as much. I needed to focus on my son. So I ended up getting an opportunity to trade oil, crude oil. That's how I ended up.
I'm from Kuwait.
Yeah. That's how I ended up working with that side of the world. I ended up seeing a lot. Like, during that time, I ended up seeing a lot.
So
when I worked.
You were trading
Crude oil.
While you were here in the States, or did you have to travel back to?
No, I had to travel all the time.
All over
The world. Russia, Middle East, everywhere. Like, it was honestly one of the hardest times for me too, because I went from traveling to Chicago to traveling across the world.
So, like, Europe,
Yes. And then, but at that time, it was a great opportunity for me. I was a single mom. I had a great backing from my mom. So she helped me a lot, and ended up meeting my husband, Phil. I was, like, literally coming back from a business trip, ended up meeting him at, like, 25, when I was 25. And him and I got married we had PJ first in 2015.
Which her kids, you should see them. They're so beautiful.
Oh, I'm sure.
All of them.
I mean, you're beautiful, so I'm sure.
Thank
All
you
of
so
them,
much. So we ended up having PJ, and then we ended up having Dominic. So, life kind of went into fast forward real quick. And he's like, you need to slow down. And I was like, well, what does that mean? Because, like, I was used to having a nanny from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Because I just never knew where my job would take me at any instance. So going from the oil industry, my friend Dajana, remember our lovely friend? We share a friend.
Shout out to Deanna.
She was our first guest on the show.
Oh, I love her.
No,
not that one.
Not that
Oh,
one. This is
different
a
Diana.
different
Never
one.
mind.
She's awesome.
Diana.
Never mind. Too many Dianas.
There is.
No. That's not Diana. So my cousin is Diana. This girl's Diana.
Diana.
It's like D-I. We're
D-I-A-N-A, and then
My
Diana's
cousin's
D-A-J-A-N-A.
Yeah, there's way too many names. There's way too many ways to say our name. So during that time, I started investing into real estate. Like, when I was kind of trying to transition out of the oil industry, just because of the travel, and it was too much for me. And obviously my husband was playing in the NFL at this time. So his schedule, my schedule, we, like, never saw each other ever. So it was hard for both of us, and, we needed to slow down a little bit. I ended up getting into investing into some buildings. I was like, oh, let's see how this works out.
And around what time frame was this?
This is 2019.
Wow.
So right before COVID
hit, yeah.
which was a blessing and it was for me.
Yes.
For my industry, it was,
real estate
it was
industry,
a great time to get into it. I ended up joining a company and some French partners. So we started developing student housing, and that's kind of what we concentrated on. We have one building here in Cleveland. It's right across from CSU.
What's it called?
1900 The Loft.
Okay, yeah.
So that's right by our
That's
park.
what you
It's
told me.
literally
That's
right by
Aaron.
you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
The Lumen, yeah.
Yep. And then we do a lot in Florida. Florida is mainly our main hub. My business partner is out of Florida. And then during that time, I started realizing, I'm like, wait a minute, I have so many different connections. You know, people are constantly coming to me like, hey, I have this deal. I have this deal. I have this money. What do I do with it? You know, and I'm like, I don't know, you know? So I'm
Yeah.
like, so we ended up building DK Global, which is the company that we have now. I mean, I still have all the other ones, but DK Global is my newest venture, I should say. And I partnered that with Kathleen Bassett. She owns Shoreway Realty Group in downtown Cleveland. And her and I started DK Investments. And with that, it's just an advisory group where we give exclusive access to just if like you come to me and you're like, hey, I have this project, you know, do you have any friends that want to jump in on it? You know, we would put it out to our network with our advisor group, and then you go through it. But we
And it
only
could be
do
in any type of industry or
any type of industry. I mean, I've worked in movies. We've done raises for Hollywood, a lot of movie raises.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
We do
That's really interesting.
Bitcoin. Yeah, we do everything. We do real estate, Bitcoin, med tech, a lot of med tech. It's our
Wow, okay.
it's
a growing industry too.
it's
right?
a very, very growing industry.
So like specifically, for example, so what you do, you advise and you also have a network of people who can. So it's not a venture capital group.
I work with a lot of venture capitalist
Okay.
groups.
So
We
you
are more
help
of an
gather
advisor.
Investments.
Yeah. We help gather I call myself the matchmaker
Okay.
because that's basically what I am. Either you have the money or you have the investment.
Okay.
You know, and you can come to me and be like, hey, Dana, I have $5 million. I don't know what to put it into. I get on with my advisory board and we go through like, okay, what are your interests? Obviously, that's usually the first thing people should go for, something that they're interested in and something that, you know, speaks ear to their heart. I don't believe in just blind investing.
Okay.
That's not my favorite,
Yeah.
but it's something that interests you. You can be like, I have $5 million. And then we will literally find you exactly what you're looking for. Or I have a lot of people that come to me and they're like, hey, I have a real estate project. Do you have any people who want to invest? And obviously real estate, everybody loves to invest in that. So those are usually pretty easy.
And how does your firm differ from other investment firms? Just in the local Cleveland area?
Ours is the only reason, I mean, one of the big differences ours is different is we only take on exclusive projects. We will not take on projects that everybody can get.
Okay.
You know, so if this is something that's posted on Zillow or if this is something that's posted on, you know, anywhere being advertised on any other markets, we won't touch it.
Exclusive to your company.
Because we can put those types of deals together and we have that reputation, so we can go ahead and, you know, figure it out.
And how did you build that trust in such a business? Because
It's honestly really, really hard.
Yeah.
It's a very, very tough business because it's more like you've got to filter through the BS, you know, and a lot of people come with the BS instead of, I am a Virgo, so it's really hard for me.
Oh,
you know, I'm like,
you're hardcore.
I am.
You like to get straight to the point. You're like
I'm
my
straight,
dad.
right. I'm like, do it or not. You know what I mean?
What she
don't
wants,
get-
and that's what she's
Yes,
doing.
yeah. And people will be like, let's get on another call. Let's
No,
do
let's
one. I'm
do
like,
it.
no.
Let's
This
do it
is
now.
like, if you don't have the funds or if you don't have the means, you know what I mean? Don't waste people's time, you know? And I think that's
yeah.
the worst when people get to it and everybody wants to, you know, they're like, oh, it's like, it's okay. Like the one thing people don't understand, like it's okay to not have it together. You know, like I would so much more appreciate somebody coming into me and being like, hey, I have an idea. I want to start a business, X, Y, and Z. Help me start it. You know, then being like, hey, I have $5 million and I want to start a business. Help me start it. You know, and then you start going through the motions and they're like, oh, no, wait, I don't have that. I was just thinking, you know, and then it's like, then you're backtracking, you know. So that's the biggest thing. I wish more people would be comfortable with like,
Not
Being
having it all figured
honest
out.
and
not having it
Yeah.
all figured out, truly.
and you don't have to have it all figured out. No one has it all figured out.
Nobody does.
you know?
Every day we learn. Me and Shannon, we always say, every day we learn something new. Like, oh, today we learned something new. You know, every single day. You're going through the motions.
So like what gave you the courage to step into such an industry? I mean, and there's always like this stigma that like women and money like don't go together. Like investing is scary and like only men in
intimidating.
Finance. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
Only men in finance and Wall Street know what to do with money. Like what do girls know? What do women know?
Oh, it is. It's honestly such a tough business
still
to
a
be
thing.
in.
Yeah.
It's still very much a thing. Very, very much a thing. I mean, to the point where we are probably the only ran firm because you don't have like men want to talk to men. We go into meetings. I am 99.9% of the time the only female in there. And it's like you still see it. And even like for me with my experience though in the steel world, that's all I was.
Right.
I was the only female.
Only female.
And I was a 20-year-old girl going against 50, 60-year-old men. Listen to me. This is what you're going to do. This is how you're, and they're like, all right, okay. So it was, I had to stand my ground very, very early in that life, I think. And
how were you able to?
Like, how did you handle that?
Yeah.
Like, did you ever feel underestimated or?
Oh, you feel underestimated every day, but who cares what other people think? You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's how, like, I've always had in my, even, like, growing up from where I came from. People were always like, oh, who does she think she is to do that? Or blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I married an NFL player, and everybody thought, they're like,
oh, the trophy wife.
Right. And I'm like, no.
I worked hard, yeah.
Being an NFL wife is one of the hardest things in the world. And people don't realize it. They don't see the back end of the things that we go through. They don't see the back end, like, of I work so much. And for me, everybody's just like, oh, her husband has the money. It's fine. Like, I said, it's so easy
People always
for her.
look at it like that.
Yeah. No, that's not how it is, And I guess in a way, like, I feel for all my NFL wives, because none of us can have anything going for us without being like, oh, well, it's easy for them because, they have the backing of a husband who, who's an NFL player but it truly isn't.
It's not like people always look at it and they always judge a book by its cover before they even read the first chapters. The
Absolutely.
way I look at it, like just because they don't look to understand the situation, they just look because they just want to react and like, oh, she's with him because of this, or she's with him. It's not always the case. And just I don't know. Speaking of NFL. Like, tell us, how is it being, you said it's hard, but how is it being an NFL wife?
It has its ups and downs, right? When I first met Phil, it was, everything
And Phil was a former
football
Browns. Player. Was he a linebacker for the Browns?
Nose tackle.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a first-round draft pick in 2011 with the Cleveland Browns, and then he stayed here till about 2016. Went to Denver for a year. He had multiple injuries. And then after that went to his hometown, which was Washington, D.C., with the Redskins. And that's where he ended his career, is with the Redskins. But during that time, he had, like, I also, even for my NFL players, I feel so bad for them because people are like, oh my God, they make so much money, They should go do that. Like when you see these people talking about them, but they have no idea what these guys go through. I mean, my husband will wake up from 5:30 a.m., get to the facility by 6 a.m., start doing rehab, therapy, X, Y, and Z. He didn't come home till 9 o'clock at night. So I'm home alone.
With the kids.
All of our wives are home alone, working, running their lives, because God forbid you disturb their life while they're in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, they need to have their trainers set up, their meal plans set up, Who does that? The wife, the significant other, the person.
While you're still working, right?
While I'm still working and trying to build my own career. Yeah, the whole time. So with Phil, he ended up getting injured in Cleveland. We ended up going to Denver. I will never forget, I was sitting in my kitchen here in Cleveland, and my family was over. My mom, my brother, everybody's watching the game. It was like a preseason game in Denver.
Yeah.
Phil ended up getting hurt twice by the same team, and it was Cincinnati. Sorry, that's like the one team I'm like, I don't like Cincinnati, personal reasons,
Bengals.
So like, yep. And I was cooking in the kitchen and I'm standing there and they go, and I begged Phil, begged him, just something inside of me told me, don't play that game. He's like, well, do you think I can just go out there and be like, I'm not playing today? Because my wife has a gut instinct.
And you had a feeling.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the kitchen cooking dinner for my family, and we're here in Cleveland. Obviously, he's in Washington. His family's at the game. I'm facing away from the TV, and they go, "A player is down on the field." And I literally go and turn my stove off, and I look at my mom, and I go, "Mom, I'm going to DC." And she's like, "What do you mean? Why are you going to DC?" I'm like, "Phil's hurt." She's like, "Well, they didn't even show who got hurt." I go, "I can tell you, I know Phil's hurt." And I got into the car and started driving, and my mom calls me. She's like, "You're right, it was Phil." I'm like, "I know." Like, I knew inside that it was Phil. I literally made it. I drove
From here to
from Cleveland to Virginia, because we lived in Virginia at that time. And I made it home by the time he got home. From the stadium. Yeah. That's how quick I got there from literally Cleveland to, I knew.
Like you're supposed to follow your gut.
Yeah. I knew. And that was like the career ending game for him.
A lot of people don't understand that a lot of players in the NFL get injured, right? It's such a danger. I honestly am not a big fan of football. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Not a big fan because of what it does to a person's physical and emotional health.
And mental.
Health. We only see quarterbacks holding a trophy at the end, but you know how many players go through concussions and broken limbs and ripped can't think of
any injury.
ACLs.
Phil he tore his whole muscle off his knee, so back.
Are you serious?
His entire quad. Yes, it was such a bad. And that's also the thing people don't understand. You don't see the rehab of these guys. You see, you're like, oh, he got hurt. Oops. And your day goes on, right? But that's where my day begins. That's where I'm like, all right, now we got to find a surgeon that's going to operate. Now we got to do X, Y, and Z. Now I got to sleep on a cot for 3 days because, who else is going to do it?
Yeah. And then not only that, your house, you're navigating your life, your career, your kids. It's a lot. It's
never, and I don't know, people always ask us, how do you do it? I'm like, we just do it. You know what I mean?
You don't think, just do.
Yeah. I think all moms are like that. We just do. It's we keep getting more and more added on our plate. We're like, all right, we're going to figure out how we can, maneuver.
Do you feel like
this.
You operate better under pressure?
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm a Virgo. I always operate under pressure. I'm going to let everything go till the last. I'm oops, nope, now we got to get it. Because now it's going to get done.
I operate the most efficient when I'm under pressure.
Yeah.
I love feeling the what do you
the
call
adrenaline
it?
rush.
The adrenaline rush
Yeah.
of having to do something under a time constraint, under a deadline, whatever the case.
So how do you manage stress? when you're going through, for example,
what do you do for yourself?
When
I do a lot for myself. I am a girl's girl, though. I will tell you that. I do believe that all women should take care of themselves. You come first. I come first to myself and my household. And that may sound selfish to others, but it's not to me. I take care of everybody else. Everybody else is taken care of. But I do have help, which I'm very blessed with. I have a personal assistant that she works for me from 12 to 8. And she handles all my day-to-day. She's me. My job is the phone. So I'm on this phone from the moment I wake up, 4 a.m., 3 a.m., because a lot of my contacts are 6 hours ahead, 12 hours ahead. So people also don't realize those things, that by the time you're just waking up, I've already worked 3 hours and you're just getting up and be like, hey, but I have a girl that helps me. She helps me manage my kids, their schedules. And then also Phil's home. He's just waiting to figure out what he's going to do, what's going to motivate him. And that's also another thing that these people don't see. Life after the NFL. Yeah. Life after the NFL is hard. It's emotional. They go from being in the spotlight all the time to welcome to being a regular person.
Stay at home.
Yeah.
I remember going through when he was done in 2019, we ended up going through some NFL, I don't know, maybe clinics, you can call them, right? Where they set you up and they're like, come here and you can come and see these places that can hire you and whatnot. So at that time, I was just starting out in investing in real estate. So I was like, oh, Phil, this is a perfect opportunity. Let's go figure out how to start a business. Because I've worked always for somebody. I'm like, let's go figure out how to start it ourselves.
And this is before you started the investment firm?
Yes. Yep. This is before we started DK. And I said, let's have them teach us. because I would think some high level, such as NFL, would have a clinic for their, for the former players to show these guys how to invest, to show these guys where they go, what they can do. No, it was so
Really? Like a
it was so
post-NFL.
disappointing
Huh.
to go to these clinics and see, and like they have these like people that want to hire you, right? And it's like StubHub, Adidas, Nike, and you go up to them and you're like, okay, so what's like the starting rate? $60,000. Like, you're gonna tell me that you're gonna tell some NFL player
he's gonna be working.
he's gonna start making $60,000?
That's
what?
wild. After
That's
making
insane.
like
After
you're
making all
couple
this money,
million.
like he's gonna
That's
be
insane.
answering calls at StubHub, like, welcome
Like
to
a call
StubHub.
center.
How can I
Not
help
to-
you?
yeah,
You know
not-
what I mean? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
He's
that's-
it was the most insane thing to me, and that's when I was like, this is crazy.
But
so,
also, like, not to cut you off, a lot of NFL players go bankrupt by the time
Absolutely.
they're done playing.
But
because
you
they don't
can
know what to
see
do with their
why.
money because they're not educated
they
on how
have-
to
yeah.
use their money.
you can literally see why.
Yeah.
You're telling me that, okay, let's say average NFL players maybe make $1 million,
Yeah.
right? Let's just say that. I make $1 million. That's a great living for me and you.
Yeah.
Right? If we know how to invest it.
Yeah.
But these guys are not being taught that.
Yeah.
So when I started, before I even started my investment group, the reason I got into student housing is for the NFL guys. And I do have a lot of them that I coach
Involved.
and help. Yeah, because there's nobody there. Their agents are there, great. But most agents are there for themselves because
Yeah.
they're not going to do a deal with me unless they're getting a kickback.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's just, and that's not just agent. That goes from agents, financial advisors, down the line. Everybody in the like being surrounded by NFL or NBA people, everybody is looking for a handout. Nobody is there to like help them, like
Yeah.
actually figure
Everyone's
it
looking
out.
for themselves. Yeah.
Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody, and that's the unfortunate side of the NFL.
Especially when the players are really young, they don't know any better, straight out of college, or some are drafted
don't know,
in college
yeah.
while they're in college.
And
So-
they're making money now in college.
Yeah,
A lot of them are making a lot of money
Sponsorships.
now. Yes.
So-
and they don't know what to do with it, but
Yeah.
they're giving it
Yeah.
to Joe from Merrill Lynch because Joe from Merrill Lynch looks really good on paper, right? Because Joe from Merrill Lynch told me
that I should.
that I should invest in this, but what Joe from Merrill Lynch didn't tell me is that he took a line of credit out and bought my house with it, with my investment. And then when I go to get my investment out, I have to pay my mortgage off. And now I'm left with, $700,000 less that I thought I had, and
Wow,
that's
yeah.
the unfortunate truth that happens to a lot of these guys. And that's what I've just
And that
learned.
sucks,
Yeah. Or it's their families,
yeah.
The biggest, also another issue is they get their brother. Oh, I'm going to give it to my brother. Like I had a recent client and he said, I was like going through his finances and I'm like, where was this $50,000 wire for? And he's like, oh, my brother is going to start a cleaning business. I said, with $50,000?
Yeah.
What kind of cleaning business is he starting with? Like a nationwide? Is he buying into a franchise? Like, what is he doing? Oh, no. He just needed to buy some vacuums and some mops and whatever.
That's wild.
He maybe took $5,000 of
Yeah,
that
and the
money and invested it, and the rest he was like,
That's
"Yeah, I'm gonna
crazy.
use it as play money."
Yeah.
Because now there's nothing there. And who are you gonna go after as this guy?
Yeah.
What are you gonna go after your brother?
Brother, exactly. And
A
also,
lot of people do tend to get involved, and we're not just talking NFL. We're talking about, for example, look at Amanda Bynes. Look at Britney Spears.
Oh, yeah.
And like everything that they've dealt with their families. And it's just like, it sucks.
Well,
it's
any
terrible.
of them that go from 0 to 100, you know what I mean? These people become millionaires overnight.
Yeah.
They're not sitting there doing the grind. And, yes, they are doing the grind, absolutely. But they're not like, like an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
These people are, they know how much they're going to make. And unfortunately for them, that's when all the bad apples start surrounding themselves.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many friends we've lost since Phil's not in the NFL.
Wow.
Because it's like, oh, you're not in the, okay, let me go find something else. Let me go cling to the next person, to the
Yeah.
next. It's like they're all out for their benefit.
Wow.
And it's so sad to see
Yeah.
when
How do you
these guys.
differentiate those friendships? As a Virgo, I would assume you can pick those bad apples from a bunch.
Yep.
Right.
I'm too honest. I'm very.
I mean, you're on the unfiltered brew. We that's why
You can be as honest as you can. We are unfiltered here.
Well, absolutely no, but it's hard. It's like me. I can see it. My husband's an Aries, so he like thinks everybody is so freaking
Sweet
nice
and
kind and looking. And I'm like, okay, honey, you know. So he's always like, we even have conversations. He's like, you need to be more social. You need to do this. I'm like, I am so social. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, but
you're very social.
If I feel vibes,
yeah.
you know, and I'm a very much so by the vibe. Like I just
The energy,
I
the
know,
frequency, vibrations.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all about that.
I can tell people, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I'm just gonna
retract.
But where Phil is like, no, it's fine. Like, come on, like, you know, and I'm like, you're just so kind. Like, he is so kind. People usually think like he would be the mean one just because like his look.
He looks intimidating.
Yeah.
He looks super intimidating.
Yeah.
But he's like the most gentle giant. Like, I'm the one that we had an incident at our house a few years back where we gave this guy $10,000 and he ran off with our money and never did the work. So naturally I was like, I work really hard for my money. You know what I mean? Like, excuse me, hello. Oh, absolutely. He called the police on me. He called the police and told them that I was threatening them. So the police comes to my house and go, were you threatening him? I was like, absolutely. I was threatening him. I was like, let me tell you. And on top of that, he was using drugs on
your property?
On my property. I had little kids and I found like a needle and a spoon and I'm like, what is it? And I'm like so foreign, I don't even know
right,
drugs.
We're so
I'm like, what is this? And Phil's like, no, don't touch that. And I'm like, what is it? And he's like, it's a needle and a spoon. So we knew it came from that guy and he kind of looked questionable. So I told the police officer, I was like, yeah, I'm like, of course I did. You know, I'm like, and I explained to him the situation and the guy goes, and he got him on the phone. He's like, so you're not scared of our husband, you're scared of the wife, just to like get this straight? And he's like, yes, it's the wife. And I'm like, and Phil's like,
good
for
he's
you.
Like, usually,
him.
I will. I will get anybody. I am so protective over my family when it comes to, I am.
I mean, you kind of have to be in the crazy world that we live in right now. You have to have that guard up and you have to like snap when you need to snap.
Absolutely.
You gotta put a bitch in their place when they deserve to be put in their place.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I mean. You don't just run off of somebody's money and don't expect any,
especially when you've worked so hard for.
Yeah.
So
whatever happened with that? Did you end up?
Nothing. He just ended up. I mean, it was a wash. What are you gonna do? What am I gonna go spend money on somebody that's not gonna get anything from?
Sometimes it's best to just let go.
I mean, they're gonna get their own karma at the end of the day, anyways. Because I'm a strong believer in what goes around comes around. So
it was funny.
We had bad comes back to you times 5.
Yeah, we had a guy actually take a picture because Phil was like, if anybody knows this contractor, because he was a contractor, he's like, if anybody knows this contractor, don't hire him. Da 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 da. Somebody sent us a picture. He was gambling at the Jack Casino. I'm like, yeah, he's using our money.
It is probably gambling your money.
For sure. Wow. Maybe trying to win it back. I don't know. But we never saw him after that episode. Yeah.
So
sorry.
It's okay. I just want to know, like, if somebody like myself or any woman listening wants to get into investing and building this wealth and they have some chump change saved up, how do they get into it? How do they start? Do they come to you? Do they No, absolutely. I love helping women because we were talking about the diversity in this particular business and finance where not many women are the head, you know, and they can't get in front of them. I would love any woman that wants to come and help and have any help, even just guide them. I've helped so many minimum,
women.
Right? No minimum amount.
It all just depends on what you want to do. Okay. I mean, you know, obviously for us, the bigger the better because it's easier for us to find projects like that. But there is so many different things where you can start off small, flipping houses. You don't have to go big, you know. And like I said, I've helped so many different women start their businesses from scratch. And I'm like, I just want to help you, you know, figure it out and go do something with your life because we are taught as females to always follow the man. Well, I've never followed a man. Like, I cannot follow a man, you know? Like, it's just something that's in my nature. I've also come from, I guess, maybe like I was taught at a very young age. I lost my dad at 18. That was my best friend.
Yeah.
So like when you lose that little piece of you, not a little piece, but it's a huge piece of you, you just, and it's gone, and that security blanket is gone. You know, you learn to never, like, it's you. Like, you can only depend on you, truly. Because even, like, some of my girlfriends, like, I'm so happy in my marriage, like, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I understand you're so happy in your marriage, but, like, you truly need to do something for yourself. Because one day, if forever, some reason,
anything happens,
you're gonna meet your worst enemy. You know, you're gonna meet your worst enemy, and you're gonna be left with nothing. And I've seen so many of my girlfriends.
I've seen that so much lately. Like, not just lately, like overall, I feel like women need to be more dependent. Yeah. And a lot of women that I personally know myself go out and they depend on this man, they depend on his success, and then, you know, their relationships take a right turn, and then she's left with nothing. Yep. She's starting over at 30, 40 years old, you know.
Or not. Or sitting
and,
there and being like, I'm just going to take it.
Yeah.
I'm unhappy and I'm going to take it, you know. Whereas when you have things for yourself, it makes your marriage even better. Like, I truly believe that, because then it's like, we're both equal. We both do, like Phil and I, we both do the same things. Like, he needs to help me with kids. I'm not sitting here and changing the kids just by myself. Yeah. Like, you need to help out. You need to feed them. You need to take them to practice. You need to do X, Y, and Z. You know, it's not just on us women.
And you get like a sense of accomplishment. Like, I feel like a lot of women lose themselves in a marriage, and because they don't have an outlet, whether it's a business or like working on a project or like starting a podcast, whatever it is. Right. You have something for yourself that you can call at the end of the night your own. Yeah. It's your, and you're not depending fully on sure, you're married and maybe your husband is the provider. Absolutely. Whether he's the sole financial provider or not, you should still have an outlet for yourself.
I will honestly tell you guys where I realized that I always wanted to have a job. Yeah. And that was in the NFL world. Mm-hmm. Truly. You don't, like, I
feel like you belong in it.
Yeah. I always was, like, around other women. You give me
this boss babe.
She does. She is a boss babe.
Yeah. Well, no, but, like, the women, like, I would go out to dinner with them, or I would go get my nails done with them, and they'd be like, oh, hold on, let me text my husband to see if I can, like, get my nails done and spend that much money. And I'm like, what? You're telling me that you're raising this man's children, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing X, Y, and Z, and you have to sit there and text him to get approval to get your nails done.
Hell no.
That was like, I was like, no never way. In life.
This is wild. That's
never
wild.
That is crazy.
Just to get your nails done. You
that's
know,
insane.
like,
that's insane.
So and that's where I say, us women, there's like, very rarely are the men, you know? And like I said, you'll never meet your worst enemy until that day comes, you know? And I hope it doesn't come, and no woman ever hopes that day comes. But
you just, I mean, whether it's coming or not, you should still want something for yourself. You should still want to do, like, I feel the proudest of, you know, when we're traveling, when I'm doing all these things. All this is because I work hard for all of this, you know? And I feel proud, and I love that. I love the fact that I don't need someone to cover these expenses for me. I do it on my own. You know?
If I want to leave, if I want to go to Miami tomorrow, I'm
you
gonna
just
go to Miami.
And you're leaving
tomorrow.
to Miami.
Not to anybody's permission or credit card information to do.
Even like my husband, everybody always asks me that. They're like, does he not care? And I'm like, why would he care? Like, we have a very good relationship. We understand each other. He always knew from day one. Like, actually, it's really funny. When we first had a date, or like probably like our first date or second date, he was like, I just want to let you know that, you know, I'm never going to retire. I'm never going to retire a female. And I was like, excuse me? What did you say? I'm like, I'm not looking for you to retire me. Yeah. Like, please don't let me retire you. You know what I mean? Like, no, sir, that's not how it's going to work. But he told me, like, right off rip, like, because, I mean, with these guys, you know, there is a lot of females that are out there for the wrong reasons. You know?
I got to ask you this. Did you meet women in the NFL circle, like wife circle, that were just in it for the wrong reasons?
None of the ones I surrounded myself with, honestly. And honestly, there is no, if you are in with the guy, like, I can understand, like, going to dinner or whatever. But if you are actually living with a guy, you are not in it for the wrong reasons. Because let me tell you, it is not pretty.
It's a grind.
It's not pretty. It is, you are their maid. You are booking their, their hotel stays, you're booking, you're like their
you're doing it
assistant.
as
You
well.
are literally their personal assistant.
Really?
Yes, that's what I became as Phil's girlfriend. I was like,
So they don't like have an agent to do that. You do it all yourself.
They do. Some of them do, but I mean,
have to manage
who's going to
the schedule,
pay an
right?
agent, and literally to manage a schedule or somebody else. But a lot of these guys aren't on those levels either. You know what I mean?
True.
Like they're not the top paid guys. Most of them, are just regular people. Like you meet, they're just like you and I, and I think that's what separates them. But for the women, I truly do believe that no, I don't think any woman that I've ever met has been in it for the wrong reason, because these women are working hard. These women are answering calls. These women are watching them cry. Like that's another,
Shout
like you
out
don't
to all
understand.
NFL wives.
Absolutely. Like you guys don't understand when the guys come home and they lost a game.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
But you've got 15 people there because they all flew in to watch the game, and he emotionally he's not there right now.
Yeah.
So now you got to filter all that, and now you got to make sure his emotions are fine, and all these other 15 people that are here to watch and support are taken care of as well, because
Yeah.
Do you
It's
feel
hard.
like between his career and your career, do you think it inspired both of you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think with me personally, my business idea was created on the lack of what the NFL had to offer these guys, to be honest with you. Once I went to the clinics and saw what they offered, I was like, this is so wrong. I have to put a team together of people that can help these people invest, follow their investments, know where their money is. Like when I first met Phil and I was like, well, what, like, we moved in and we were like talking what marriage and blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, so let's put our finances out on the line. What are yours? Here are mine. He's like, oh, I don't know. You have to call my financial advisor. I'm like, you can't even log into your bank account and tell me how much money you have. He's like, no, I don't know that. Log in.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
So that's.
So you saw an opportunity and dove in.
I'm like, this is how many guys are just like my husband. Where they let these people run with their finances. They don't teach them anything. They don't show them where their money is going. And you can literally sit there and be like,
scary.
yeah, here, this is where your money is going, X, Y, and Z. And they're going to be like, okay, cool.
Yeah, right.
Like, you think they really know?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's
That's
no,
kind of crazy.
It's a scary world that they live in, and we don't really realize it.
On the flip side, if we're talking about financial literacy, and I've had to learn things as an adult, unfortunately, because college doesn't teach you this. I went to an engineering school. It was all just science-based classes, and I didn't even know what a stock was, to be honest. I didn't, and for women who are listening, or men, all ages, and if they are seeking, and then let's say they have a little project and they're seeking investors, do they also come to your firm and they can get your guidance on raising money and raising capital for this, however small or large the project is?
Absolutely. We'll connect them with the right people. I think that's the advantage of my group, is we can see the opportunity. We'll vet it for you. We'll go over it
Even
with you.
someone with no financial background,
None.
no financial literacy.
Yeah, we have a team that will put all that together for you. I mean, we're actually working on a project here in the Slavic Village right now with a well-known group. But same thing, we had to help them start from zero, and scale it up. So we do a lot of different things. But mainly my goal for me personally is to just help the people that are so confused as to where to go or don't think that they can do it, is help those types of people figure it out that you can. You literally can do this. Everybody can do it. You start small. You don't even need money to start. That's the craziest part that a lot of people don't understand. You can start flipping houses with zero money down.
Wow.
There's so many people that will lend you money, that will, that you can, that will figure it out. But a lot of us, we don't know. You think you have to be an entrepreneur and come in with $500,000,
Yeah.
So I saw a video the other day, how you don't use your own money.
We don't use our own money. No investors use their own money. You always want to use somebody else's money.
Okay. And it's also scary at the same time to know that you owe a certain, someone X amount of money. How do you vet that person that you're borrowing from and the person that you're lending the money to?
I mean, it's like a bank. You know, like just like if you're going to get a mortgage, you're going
there's
through
a
the
risk
whole.
factor.
There is a lot of. I mean, it all depends also what you're investing in. So your risk factor goes high risk, high return. Ever heard of that?
Yes, always.
So you know, there's a lot of things where you can just like we've had people. I have my French business partner who I love dearly. He will literally French people just like here, take my money, just invest it. Like they won't ask any questions.
Really, the French?
Yeah. So like here, just take it. Whatever you want to buy buildings, buy this, buy that. Then there's like, you know, your American investors, you're more not, you know, they're like,
reserved.
I need to know X, Y, and Z. So you get different types of investors and investments. So from mine, like where I'm at, like I said, I'm the connector, I'm the matchmaker. I will connect you to the person. And then once you go from me, you go to the next person and they'll help you like figure everything out, the finances and everything that you need to know.
That's awesome.
Well, through all this like stress and stressors between NFL and your entrepreneurship and everything, like how do you keep yourself grounded through the mess part?
I don't know.
What's your like to go?
I'm a big meditating person. You know, I love to meditate. I even sleep with like meditating music. Like
I'm the
my
same
whole
way.
family like knows. I'm like, don't sleep in my room if you don't want to listen to it. But like I have to sleep with it, and it's the only way I can shut my brain off. I do a lot of self-care. I will do like I get massages every single week. You know, like very mandatory for me. I do a lot of infusions. Like I'm
like
very
IVs.
big into health and self-care and you know things that we need to. But as females, those are the things we need to do. Botox, girls, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I need to have mine, not feeling like so stressed. And like us just as women, and even Botox, you know, they're like, oh, like you cannot tell people you get Botox. Yes, I can.
Why not?
Absolutely.
Why is it so frowned upon, you know? But now it's started, especially in our, like Katarina's and I, where we come from, I feel like everything was always so like, back, you know, like they're like 10 years back.
Oh my God,
I
they're
think
so
of like,
10 years back, even to this day.
Yes,
Oh, really?
Yes. I mean, like when I started, even me being a mom and working, you know, I have people that are like, why does she feel the need to work? Like, isn't enough? Enough is enough. And I'm like, you know, never enough
That's
is
the
enough. You
cultural
know what I mean?
difference.
Like,
Yeah.
why are you
Yeah.
traveling? Why don't you stay at home with your kids? You have other people raising your kids. That's always a fun one when I hear that. I have other people raising my kids. I go, no. I absolutely don't have other people raising my kids.
But you know
I
how
raise
like
them.
our people, like you know, Eastern European people, they always have something to say. It's always gonna be a thing, and I mean, you can talk all you want. We're still gonna do what we're doing.
Right.
We're still gonna be the queens that we are. So y'all haters keep hating because just keep hating. That's it.
Yeah, but you
I
know
love
what?
it.
I think it's more than that. It's us women in general. You know, like we all like. I don't know. Like I've seen it. You know, where they're like, I'll sit with another one. They're like, oh, well, she did this and this. Like, great, good for her. Like, what do you mean? You know, it's just women in general. Like, I feel like we all need to support ourselves in whatever adventures we decide to do because women make things work. I will tell you guys now, I work with so many men and we are the ones that push. You know, we're the ones that push it through. We're the ones that are like on top of it.
Yep.
If it was for them, they'd be like, oh, yeah, we'll get to it. Look at all the big executives. Who are their assistants?
Women. For a
Women in
reason.
power. I love
Every
it.
single time it's a woman. You know what I mean? Majority of them that you see, it's women because they're the ones that are getting these guys to the next level. They're pushing them through.
What's a mantra or affirmation you live by?
I have 1111. Like that's my
Stop it.
that's my biggest thing. So my dad,
Okay.
when he was alive, like we would always see 1111 on the time, always. And now going every time I have like a rough day or something, I would just see it. I see 1111.
So you believe in numerology
I
and
do.
like synchronicity.
I
Like
do
we
too.
experience the same thing. I see 444 a lot. We see
I see 222,
111.
555.
Yeah.
Yesterday,
Every day on a daily
Yesterday, when I was
basis.
at Billy's, I was picking up just a box in the freezer for a moment. I picked it up and it was 222.
If you see the pictures
crazy.
between us that we send each other, it's always either a car play that had 444 or a screenshot of her phone because she looked at it and it was like 222.
Yep.
555.
Uh-huh.
So we know we're like
in sync.
And yeah,
That's
in
how
sync,
me and my
yeah.
business. I was born at 2:39 a.m.
Oh my god.
So I always see the time, like always, like 2:39, 2:39.
Really?
Yes, it's
That's
just,
amazing.
Okay.
it's like little things like that. But I do believe in, and I think maybe that's what kind of helps me too, you know, through everything, is like believing that there's something else out there for us, you know, that the universe really does work miraculously in our advantage. And if we put out positive,
It's gonna come back. It comes back,
to
and
you, yeah.
I've seen things happen, and most recently that I told you yesterday. The more gratitude I express on a daily basis, like the gratitude waking up. It's like the more things just keep showing up, and
Yeah.
I'm like, this is incredible.
But
the way
that's
the
how it
universe
is, yeah.
works.
Like the more gratitude you show and
Yeah.
the more positivity you put out, the more positive you get back.
Yep. And it's so hard to remember that, you know, because we're so used to like always thinking negative, and negative thoughts are coming our way. And it's like, oh no, I just did this, but like I just spilled this all over my jeans. And it's like, instead of being like, oh no, I spilled this out of my jeans and I got to go change, that could be a sign
literally,
for you.
that was me last week.
But that was the sign for you. Like
Yeah.
you literally could have missed an accident.
Yeah.
That what could have, you know, or something.
Yes.
Like I always
Yes.
try to remind myself, like, all right, stop. You know,
Stop
if something
freaking
isn't
out.
going your way,
Yeah.
it's for a reason. Everything truly does
I
happen for a
agree.
reason.
I agree.
100%.
That's
And
my
as
saying.
we speak,
Everything
as we
happens for a
speak,
reason.
333.
See?
The universe is on your
Speaking to
side.
us.
Be grateful for those moments where you're running late. Be grateful for those moments where things aren't going your way, and
Yeah.
they're not always going to go your way. The universe is protecting you. Is the way I feel that. Is,
Absolutely.
You know?
And that's how it is.
So, tell us just one moment where you told yourself, like, I'm proud of myself.
I
for
struggle with
everything.
that. That's me personally. That's with me. I struggle with that. I don't think I ever will sit back and be like, you did good, girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
looking back at everything we've been through and life.
Do you think it's like a foreign thing? I
Maybe.
feel like it's
And
very
maybe it's the way we
common.
were raised.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like, I mean, I personally was like, my mom is the most wonderful mom in the world, but she never had time to sit there and be my biggest cheerleader
Yeah.
and be on the sideline and be like, go, honey, go.
Yeah.
Like I was in track, I was a cheerleader, you know, going like all of the sports. My parents were never there, you know, so
Yeah.
I never had anybody telling me, you did great, you're doing
job.
great. Till this day.
Or
I
even
feel
if
like
you
that.
do great, like from my experience, you
Right.
could have done better.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. You did all right. You got a B. You could have
You
got
got
it.
an
You
A.
should have got an A.
Yeah. No, you got an A. Why isn't it an A plus?
Right,
You
right.
got a 95. Well, it's not 100.
Right.
So that's the mentality I grew up
Same.
with. Like I was always told like I could be better, and this is something I struggle. The same thing. Like she'll have to remind me like be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
You've done an amazing job. You've got to this space in your life, and you should be proud and present. And it's just so hard for me. I'm always criticizing myself.
She
Always.
is. I mean, we all do. Like, I'm hard on myself too,
Always.
but I've learned through healing and through, just learning about life. And like you said, like you and I are very similar. Our life backgrounds are similar. We came from nothing and we're growing something. And, it's hard to do that. And I don't know, I just always think like where I came from and where I'm at now, like, you have to be proud of yourself. You have to like
You
think
do.
to yourself like, hey, I did all this to be here. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
but
proud
we're
of you,
never-
and I'm proud of you.
Oh, I'm proud of you
because
guys.
for you wake up every day
Yeah.
busting your ass for your kids, for your husband, for your friends. Like you have to just sit there and realize that, like,
Pat yourself
hey,
on the
pat
shoulder.
yourself in the
Right.
back sometimes.
Yep.
And
we literally have to be our biggest fans.
yeah.
So that's our. That's
It's
how
important
it is.
to love
Yeah.
yourself, and it's important to recognize how amazing you truly are, because no one else is gonna. I mean, people
Yeah.
are gonna recognize that, but you have to within yourself be like, "Hey, I'm proud of myself today. I
And
woke
think
up and I
that's
did this." And
right. And I think that truly, from a young age, I've always been like that. I was the girl that walked. I didn't care who was there. You can literally put me in a room with anybody. I don't care that you're there. I'm just as important as you are. You know what I mean? Like I've been in rooms with numerous athletes, celebrities, whoever. But I think that's where I've just taught self-love to myself. And I do. I am my biggest fan. Like it is hard to be like, you know what, you did great. But like when it comes to loving myself, I feel like I'm there because I do push that very highly, and that confidence, you know, where I walk into a room and I'm like, I don't care if you're there.
Yeah,
I don't care if you're
But
uncomfortable.
your
that I'm
confidence
here.
will be read even when
Yeah.
you don't talk, because you're walking in with that confidence.
Yeah.
It's your energy, the vibrations in the room, and that's people will see that.
Yeah, and that's self-taught, you know, because again, we did not have that. Now my kids, I'm at every game. If I'm not at every game, I have a mom that's sitting there texting me play-by-play, you know, or I'm recording it and watching it, you know. So for them, I'm always like, you guys, I'm so proud of you. I love you. Da 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 da. Do I think my kids are gonna be hustlers like me?
Probably not.
No, they're
This
not.
generation is different. We
It
grew up
is very
differently.
different.
Yeah, just they're like so used to just being handed all of that and the love and you know the support that they know there's always somebody there for them.
Exactly.
So if you could leave our listeners with one piece of advice about owning your own voice or like women in business, what would it be?
I would say start something, anything, you know, whether it's something selling a piece of jewelry, you know, anything that interests you. Do something more than outside of being a mom, you know, and I know mom is my number one job and it's my most prideful job, but we need stuff outside of being moms for ourselves, you know, just for our own mental health and to grow as women.
Yeah.
So
where can women follow you, find you, or connect with you, or want to learn something from you? Are you on LinkedIn? Is there a website?
We're on LinkedIn. We have a website, dkglobalinvestments.com, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere. I'm very attentive to any of it to answer any questions or anything. Even if you just have a question on how, you know, or just need somebody to talk to, you know, I'm always
I love
that
that.
girl.
I love
Like,
that so
call
much.
me. Even though I'm busy, I'll still make time to text you and, you know, talk to
Yeah.
you and be here for all of our girls.
Even
I love
within your
that.
crazy schedule, you'll make time.
We do. We
I
make
love
time.
that. Well, girls, I'm proud of both of you. Keep kicking ass. Thank you to everyone listening. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, share, continue listening. You know, we're on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. We love you, and thank you, Diana, for coming on.
Thank you so much.
It was an
Incredible
amazing episode.
I've learned so much.
Thank you guys, and I'm so proud of you too as well. And Katerina, you know, as just coming from where we come from, I love that you started this and have
You're so sweet. I love
you know, the ability and the guts, because a lot of females don't,
Yeah.
and that's amazing. So keep
you.
going.
We're
girls.
just a bunch of queens.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Bye, guys. Thank you
guys.
for
Bye.
listening. Till next time. Mwah.